Oh no, here comes the garbage truck. Hello and welcome to my channel, Haylee Marie Vintage. Today I'm going to be showing you some really awesome vintage items that I have in my closet. So these are items that I have inherited and have been passed down through my family. I just kind of want to show them because they're a huge reason that I got into vintage. When I was in high school, my grandma passed on a few of the dresses that she made when she was in her 20s, and so that really got me into vintage fashion and kind of developed my love, especially I think for the 50s, since that was when her garments were from. I wanted to talk about it because we all get into vintage for different reasons, and this is just a huge reason. It helps me feel connected to my past and to the past and just women in the past in general. I think that's something really cool about vintage. Here I have vintage from my great aunt, my grandma, and my mom. So I have 3 generations of vintage clothing, and all of these were things they wore when they were in like their mid to late 20s, about where I am. So I figured I would show them to you guys and kind of talk some about like my family history and why I find vintage so cool, especially when you know stories behind items. So first off, I did not try this one on. The rest will have try-ons, but this is a top, and you can see it's like kind of reptilian. It's very light and silky. And then this is a silk skirt. It's really hard to like show the waistband. It looks different on, but I didn't, like I said, try this one on just because there's some weird staining and stuff, and I still will wear it, but I would say it's like a little bit past its prime. But this was my mom's honeymoon suit. I don't know if other people's families did this, especially since this would have been like 70s, 80s, somewhere in there, I think 80s. But she had a honeymoon suit, and so this was part of it, and I don't have the jacket to it because I didn't want it. Which I do regret now, but that's okay. I think it's just really cool to have something that basically my mom wore to go on her honeymoon or around her marriage that like isn't her wedding dress, because I can wear this just to work or in my day-to-day, and I think there's something really cool about this. This is another piece. I believe my mom made this one, but I'm not 100% positive. This is from her high school. She had like this really cute pink skirt with it because you can see like the pink buttons. It's really poofy and pretty and fun. And I love wearing this piece. It's really flattering and it fits me perfectly because I guess it fit generations before me perfectly. And was actually literally made for them. I just think this is such a beautiful piece, and I wear this a lot in the winter. Next up, we're going into my mom's suits. So this is what she wore when she entered the workforce as a pharmacist, and she had some really cool suits that I don't wear frequently, I will say, because I'm not as much of a trousers, but her trousers make like my body look so good, and I think it's because I have a really hard time finding pants that do that. So first up is this 80s red power suit. The jacket silhouette is not my favorite, but the pants are gorgeous. I have a try-on showing these together. Unfortunately, I don't think I showed the pants by themselves, but they're really flattering because in the 80s it seems like they had just like kind of these thick cinching waistbands that were they were great. I love them. So that is this suit, and then this is my favorite suit from her. This is a really beautiful striped suit. Again, the pants are really flattering, and I just like, and the stripes are really actually the suit is just so flattering. And I can wear these separately, and this is a suit jacket that you can kind of pass off as like 1950s or 40s if you style it correctly. So I super love that, but I think these pieces are gorgeous, and I really, really, really love them. So that is all of my mom's pieces. We're going into my grandma's. I'm starting with probably one of the more recent pieces. This was probably bought in the 80s or 90s. My grandma wore this all winter, all the time. This is obviously Pendleton. And it's just a really beautiful full-length trench. I think it's gorgeous on, and I wear it a lot in the winter, and I get so many compliments on it. It's super in style right now, kind of with that big boyfriend look. And I just like it because it's incredibly warm, and it reminds me of my grandma, and I like miss her, and so it's nice to wear the jacket that she wore all the time. Next up, my grandma gave this to me, I believe, in high school. This is just a basic gathered skirt, but I really love the silhouette of this one. It's not super full. It's a little bit more in, so I have full like leg range of movement. There's no hobbling in it, but it also is just super flattering, and it's a beautiful color. I can still fit into this one. I wore this one in Italy all the time. There's maybe some gelato staining on this garment, but it just adds to the charm and the love of this garment for me. Next up is her honeymoon suit. I guess we're big into honeymoon suits here, which I think is really funny because when I talk to friends, they're like, what does that mean? And I'm like, I don't actually really know what a honeymoon suit is. I just know that my family, like, did them. But this is the skirt. The skirt does not fit me. I cannot get the button buttoned, but the jacket is a beautiful jacket, and I can obviously easily fit into it, and it's super cute and one of a kind, and I actually wear this with another one. I didn't show this piece because it's really, really recent, but I have another skirt of hers that I'll wear this with, where they're kind of just a fun combo. But this is a blue and purple houndstooth, which I super love. It's a really flattering, beautiful suit. Next up, we're getting into the dresses she made. So she made the skirt, she obviously didn't make the jacket, and then she didn't make her honeymoon suit. But this dress is a piece she made. It is the Devil Sorry dress. I do not have a try-on shot for this dress because by the time I get into it, I don't want to get out of it for a full day because it's one of those side zips and the neckline is like super small and it's hard to get your shoulder. It's really hard to put on. It's a beautiful dress once it's on, but for like a 5-second try on, it is not worth it for me. Next up, she made her bridesmaid dresses, so I have 2 of them. She had 2 sisters, and I believe these were for their weddings. I am not 100% positive on that, but I do know that these were made by her, which I think is so cool. I think one of the reasons I love sewing is it makes me feel connected to her, and I wish I got into it before she passed, because we would have had a lot to talk about, and I'm sure she would have had tips, and I'm sure she would have rolled her eyes at some of my horrible practices. She had 2 sisters. I also feel connected on that level because she was the middle of 3 sisters, and I am also the middle of 3 sisters. And here is the first dress. This is just a really beautiful polished cotton, and it is blue, and it is super flattering, super cinched. I can still fit into this dress without battling it, unlike the dress before it. Oh no, here comes the garbage truck. You might still hear garbage truck noises, but hopefully it will be okay. I really love the way this falls off the shoulders. This is just a really beautiful garment, and hopefully I'll figure out a way to kind of pattern it in the future and make other ones like it that are a little bit more casual. I will still wear this day to day because it's like not blinged up like the next one, but it is a little bit fancy for day-to-day wear. Next up, I wore this to homecoming in high school, so unfortunately I did some alterations that I regret. I did shorten it, and then there was this really beautiful like curve that went up that I got rid of. It was very 50s and very trendy. I can still see it, and so I might see if I can take that back out. But unfortunately, I think the damage is probably done since the embroidery on this is fairly delicate. So I do regret that, and that bums me out that I made that decision, but I do still have this dress. It still fits me. I also had it taken out a little bit in the waist, which tells you how small my grandma was. Given what she wore in her mid-20s, I could barely fit into in high school, and I was so thin in high school. I mean, I'm still really small and tiny, but I was extra tiny in high school. But I love this dress. I think it's beautiful. I don't get to wear it very often because it's kind of more of like a winter wedding type dress, I feel like. But it's stunning, and this is also polished cotton. I think my grandma had a real soft spot for polished cotton, which I do too. I think it's really, really stunning. And yeah, I wore this, junior year homecoming, I think, with my date at the time, good old Gabe. I think we dated twice in high school. I don't know. But this dress just brings back good memories. Like I said, I do regret shortening, but I'm glad I wore her dress to homecoming and she got to see that. And yeah, this is, again, just beautifully made. My grandma could put in a zipper like nobody's business. I wish I could put in a zipper this well. I can only do like the one side lapped zipper. I can't do this double lapped, which she does really, really well and really beautifully, and I don't understand how. But that is this garment here. Last up, actually before last up, I have this was my great Aunt Emma's. This is clearly a newer piece, so she would have worn this when she was a lot older. My mom always says she remembers great Aunt Emma wearing this. Great Aunt Emma, she was a really cool woman. I feel really proud to own pieces from her. She spoke multiple language. she was educated, even though obviously, as you'll see by this dress here, like she was a woman before her time, and I think that was really, really cool. And I feel really lucky to get to feel connected. I wear this jacket when I go out, or I mean, yeah, it would be a little over the top for work, but I will wear it when I go out. I love the shine. This is definitely 70s, 80s, maybe even 90s. I don't know. I don't know how to really place this jacket, but it's super well made. I think she made it because I think I have scraps of this fabric. But this is so pretty. It's a little short. I wouldn't probably wear it with this. I would probably wear it with like more like a tank top. But I think it's super cute and super flashy and shiny. And then last up is a dress from when she was a lot younger. This is a really beautiful black gown from the 1930s, I believe, because it's not quite as drop-waisted as the 1920s and has some of like the softer draping of the early 30s. So I believe that is when this is from, and it has this beautiful lace shawl. I never wear this dress, in all honesty. I am too scared. This is like a family heirloom almost to me, and I want to make sure that it's passed on in a wearable condition beyond me. So I don't really wear it. I'll wear it for a photo shoot here and there, but the fabric is really delicate. It's a silk chiffon. It's super thin, and I'm just terrified I'll ruin it, so I do not wear this one, unfortunately. But I did try it on for this video to show you guys how beautiful this neckline is. I do think there's a chance she made this. It's always hard to know, I think, with garments these old if they were bought or made, but I feel really lucky to own this. I inherited a majority of the vintage clothing in my family because I'm the only one really who has huge interest in it, and so I kind of fought for my vintage clothing. But that is everything I have to show you. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, definitely hit that subscribe button. I post every single Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, and it's always vintage content or sewing content, so if that sounds interesting to you, I hope to see you next time. Goodbye!